Yo, what's up, everybody? Huge pump in the market today. We got Bitcoin up nearly 8%. The rest of the market also pumping. Is it on fire? Are we in a bull run? Stay tuned to find out. I will let you know my thoughts. Also, Bitcoin halving is coming in about 2 weeks, just under that. Check it out and how that might affect the upcoming price. And also, I'll show you some support of theory of upcoming bull run, and also I'm going to teach you how to invest like a pro. Like you guys may or may not know, I've been in the space for 9 years, and I kind of know what to look for when you're looking at other investments besides Bitcoin. So stay tuned, watch to the end, and I'll tell you some very important tips to pay attention to. It'll protect you and help out on a lot of investments, save you a lot of heartache, and save your wallet too at the end of the day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Kyle Chasse, a Bitcoin and crypto OG since 2012. I quickly understood that Bitcoin and its underlying technology would change the world, so I went all in. I've built, invested, and advised many projects in the space and consider myself an expert generalist. In 2018, I became very concerned about the misinformation going around the cryptosphere and felt that someone needed to speak up, educate, and assist the space in evolving in the best possible way. I made a decision that I would be more public, speak out against misinformation, educate the world on the most important things about Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain. I've been traveling the world, speaking at conferences, and working with the best minds in the space to innovate the systems that we grew up with in order to improve the quality of life for the global citizens of Earth. Welcome to my channel.
All right, guys, check it out. Let's start with this trading view chart over here. Look at this massive pump starting earlier today. It just up and up and up and up and up. And we have a little bit of a sell-off right here. Not much. We'll see how that holds out. I mean, after you have such a huge pump, it's pretty common to see a bit of a correction. However, it just could continue to get pumped up after this. Is this the next super cycle? I don't know. You know, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, institutional support is there. Mining support is there. You know, sentiment is through the roof right now. I mean, people are going absolutely batshit crazy on Twitter. It is just absolutely the right environment for a bull market, right? We just have this one little itty bitty problem called COVID, and it might screw with things a little bit, right? How? I will let you know in a bit. All right, look at these charts today. Just pump, 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 pump. Everything pumping, right? Everything pumping. Green, 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 green. All the way down. Some of these even doing huge. Look at, if you're in Digibyte, well done. I mean, that's massive, right? And let's see what else is massive today. I mean, Bitcoin Diamond, Crapcoin, Oh My's Go. Like, they have been quiet, right? They're not ones to do a lot of news, but they are working away. And I'm proud to say they are based out of Thailand. Yeah, yeah. Hyperion, I have no idea what that is, but what's important to note on this is the market volume for this pump at 31% is only $12 million, right? So it doesn't take a lot of money for like someone in that camp to go ahead and just pump a little bit of money into it and shoot their coin all the way up, right? And you know, another one, Unibright is something that I'm fairly bullish on. You know, I got into that a long time ago. I think it's done 300% in the past 30 days. Rightfully so. That has underlying value. And when a token has underlying value, it will be supported. Like, what something you guys should know is that in probably by the end of the next bull run, it's going to be very, very different than 2017. 2017 was almost zero institutional or smart money, or people who, and it was a lot of retail hype and FOMO and people who were just trying to get rich quick and didn't really understand underlying fundamentals of tokens, right? So it was all about marketing and hype and crap and blah, 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 and Lambos, and it was just a bunch of crap, right? And so what we have now is a lot of those people got washed out, right? They got wrecked. And a lot of people aren't in that market right now, or this market right now, right? What was that? we have a lot of like big dinosaur bugs and reptiles and things like that, and mixtures of them too in here in Thailand. So yeah, anyway, so that's that, right? Okay, so Bitcoin halving. We are less than 2 weeks away. We are actually 11 or 12 days, depending on the block time halving. how far away we are from the halving. And that is a very interesting event, right? The block reward gets cut down from 12.5 Bitcoin released every 10 minutes to just 6.75. But what we do see is a ton of people, entities, projects getting invested into the crypto mining and specifically Bitcoin mining space. What does that mean? I'll tell you here shortly. Check this out at the bottom though, right? So we've had only 2 halvings before, so we don't have a lot of data to go off of. We don't really know what's going to happen, right? But if you zoom in here, you can see that after the first halving, which is a very different market than we have today, it just went straight parabolic, literally parabolic. Boom, a little bit of a sell-off, and then boom, parabolic after that, entered into a bit of a bear market for a while. And then here we have a 2017. No, that's over here. Sorry, over here. But typically we have seen, 1 year or so, 6 months after the halving that we see the peaks typically, right? Boom. So you see about the same timeline, about one of these things over here, about 1.5 over here. This is the peak of 2017, right? And then we see a bit of a sell-off. What I'm noticing here too, though, is this this chart here looks a bit more similar, right, to here than it does in the beginning. And this market was way different than this market, and this market over here is going to be even a lot different than this last one. But these two will be more similar than this one over here. And these two look a bit more similar, right? This pattern and this pattern here than this one over here. So potentially, there might be a bit of a sell-off after the halving or maybe right before. We do have a saying in the industry that says, buy the rumor, sell the news. And what that means is like when someone announces like a halving or like some other huge potential thing coming up for some project, whenever it's supposed to be released, there's always typically a very a pump of the price before the event, and everyone thinks it's going to pump after, right? But the pump actually happens right before it, and the day they announce it, the price usually tanks. And so we'll see what happens here coming up, but it does feel very much like we're in a bull market or entering into one. The sentiment amongst like the Twitters, the cryptosphere and things like that are off the charts right now. Everyone's going crazy. And the energy feels right. But we do have the underlying little bitty problem of COVID, right? So anyway, we'll see what happens over here. We're getting very, 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 very close. And a little bit of support here too. What is interesting, right, is you have this massive movement for people getting into mining. What does that mean? Well, we have like people like layer 1. I talked about, like last week or week and a half ago, this project out of West Texas being built. Will be one of the largest mining facilities in the entire world. That's brand new going up, right? You have different mining farms going up all the time. People are expanding. Lots of money infrastructure getting put into Bitcoin mining. And here you see something interesting too. The government of China is actually supporting Bitcoin mining by lowering the cost of electricity in the province where Bitcoin mining takes place, so specifically for miners. So you see support here. Basically what happened is that the value of Bitcoin is too low right now, and so a lot of miners shut down their mining rigs, which means there's less Bitcoin being mined in China, and that's not good for the Chinese economy. This is interesting, right? So the government realized that mining was good for the economy and is trying to help the miners out. Binance officially enters crypto mining market. Binance Pool launches its first product. This is basically just telling that Binance has launched a mining pool, right? So what that is basically if you have, you want to contribute and be a miner, right? But you don't have enough money to put together your own mining farm, that's fine. You can join a mining pool. What that means is just like your computer or graphics card or ASIC miner will contribute to a pool of other miners to collectively create a bunch of hash power, because you're much, much more likely to be part of a group that solves the block, which gets the block reward, than if you were to try to do it by yourself. If you try to do mining by yourself with just 1, 2, 5 machines, you'd probably be running that hardware all the time and never make any money at all, right? So what a pool does is it allows you to aggregate all of your mining power or all the hash power between all the computers in the mining pool, and that enables a much higher possibility that you guys are going to get, that whole group gets a block reward, which now is 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, but will be 6.75 in 2 weeks. But what this is telling me is that like there's a tremendous amount of belief that the value of Bitcoin is going to increase tremendously. People are putting tens of millions of dollars into these mining operations, and they wouldn't be doing it if they believe that the price of Bitcoin wasn't going to go up dramatically. Okay, guys, like here's something that I feel is extremely important to mention, right? There's so much misinformation out there or misleading information or things like that. And I just want, part of this channel is to call this kind of things out and bring it to your attention so you know what to look for, right? And so this is an opinion. Binance Coin or BNB is the most undervalued cryptocurrency. CZ hints that it will change eventually. Okay, the problem with this article, I'm not going to get into reading it to you because that would be boring and it doesn't explain the whole point of what I'm trying to say. But basically, this guy, George Georgiev, goes on to explain that he believes BNB, which is the currency of Binance, is undervalued. And he might be right, okay? But what he doesn't do in this article is doesn't explain why he feels the way he does based on fundamentals or the token economics or the economics of BNB, Binance Coin, right? So what he does in this article is he talks about Binance. He says they've done all this stuff and they've built, and in just 3 years they become massive and they're the biggest exchange and they're building this and they're building that and blah, blah, blah. Binance Chain and Binance Pool and OTC and IEOs and blah, 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 right? But the thing is that all of those things are revenue generating models that generate fiat, and that goes to the equity holders of Binance. It does not go to token holders or BNB holders, right? So what he should have done, if this is the way he believes, is he should have talked about the BNB token and why it has value, why he anticipates that it will be increase in value in the future, why he thinks that that the new products that Binance is launching will have demand for more BNB tokens, because in order for BNB to increase in value, people need to want to hold that, right? Need to hold BNB. So you need to introduce new use cases that would entice people to buy and hold BNB, right? If I'm using the Binance platform to trade on and they're charging me trading fees and withdrawal fees, that revenue does not go toward BNB token holders at all. Nothing does, right? If I pay a listing fee on Binance to list my token, none of it goes to BNB token holders. If I want to launch an IEO on Binance, none of that goes to token holders, right? And so there is not one argument in this entire article of why this guy believes that BNB is undervalued that has anything to do with token economics or the economics behind the token. There has to be good use cases and reasons why someone would want to hold and acquire that token, right? Like staking, like governance. There's no governance in Binance that has to do with the BNB token. There's not even a true utility for BNB token, right? So it is like for example, having a token for a discount on trading fees is a stupid use case for a token. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, just make your trading fees cheaper to begin with and don't make someone buy your stupid token in order to get better trading fees. What people should do in that case is just use an exchange that has lower trading fees to start with. It doesn't require them to buy a token just to get lower trading fees. That's ridiculous. It's not a good use for a token. Look, I can do a video on token economics and get in more depth about this issue and why it's important. But just know, if you're looking to invest outside of Bitcoin in a crypto asset like an altcoin, please understand what token economics are and if they've been designed by the team who's selling that, and also is there a revenue generating model or is it all a token based economy, right? Because what could happen, like for example, Binance is making billions of dollars a year and none of that is going back into the token at all, right? The Binance token could disappear overnight and everybody who invested in it would be shit out of luck. But Binance, the company, wouldn't be hurt at all. Nothing. The revenue models depend on earning fiat. It's not a true token economy. So I can go into much, much more depth on this, but I just want you to realize that a lot of the things that you read, you have to be careful. You have to take with a grain of salt, and you have to do your own research. You also have to understand, how this industry works and what is tokens, what is equity, are they related? Can a project have both and still give fair value to both token holders and equity holders? Quick answer is I believe it's not possible. So anyway, these are really important things to look for. Like, please feel free to ask me questions in the comments below, or reach out to me on Twitter, or whatever the case may be. I'm happy to answer more. If you want a video on token economics and why they're important and learning how to invest like a pro, please just share that with me, and I'd be happy to do that. All right. Last thing, guys, is a tweet over here by Dan Moorhead, who is the CEO of Pantera Capital. And he just says Bitcoin overtakes gold year to date. Bitcoin was born in a financial crisis, and it will come of age in this one. Here you go, 2020 year-to-date performance. Bitcoin has outperformed every other asset class in the world. Again, year after year after year. Bitcoin's been around for 11 years. I think out of the 11 years, I think 9 or 10 years, it's outperformed every single other asset class on the planet. Let me say that again. In the last 11 years, 9 or 10 of those years, it has outperformed every single other asset class on the planet, and usually by far. So when people ask, is Bitcoin a risky investment? If you're just holding it, you can answer that to them and ask them if they think that's risky. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your time. I will talk to you later.